Leaving Kuala Lumpur, I went to Ipoh in search of a better place to live and ended up staying there for 2 weeks. These are my thoughts on this city based on the same criteria I used for KL. I found the weather in Ipoh to be slightly better than KL. It was still hot, it was still humid, but on some days, walking in the streets was bearable if not pleasant. It could be due to the smaller and more spread out buildings. I felt in KL, the tall skyscrapers blocked some of the breeze, and the many air conditioners blew hot air into the streets. In Ipoh, that's not an issue. Although the streets are less crowded, making walking a bit easier, Ipoh does not have an MRT like KL. This forces you to drive, ride a scooter, or use grab taxis for longer distance trips. The sidewalks are better here, but still not great. I rented rooms near malls so I could buy anything I needed within walking distance. At one Airbnb, the mall sat literally 2 blocks away. Overall, I still found the walkability of Ipoh quite poor. Watching this lady struggle to cross the street sums up my experience. One thing I kept hearing about Ipoh was the quality of the food. The city is known for its chicken and bean sprouts. I tried some, and it was the best chicken and bean sprouts I ever ate. The bean sprouts here are definitely thicker and crispier. That being said, I'm not a big chicken and bean sprouts fan, so this was not a big deal for me. I ate at various other restaurants as well. At Black Canyon, they had these weird cat-like contraptions that served you. It would bring you the food, but make you put it on the table, like a half-assed waiter. Ah yes, technology. In general, the food in Ipoh was fine, especially for the price, but nothing spectacular. I did eat at this one place called Mo Chan. It had great reviews and served dim sum, something I missed the last few weeks. And I must say, the people who left those reviews either didn't eat dim sum here or have no idea what good dim sum tastes like. The shao mai was rubbery and chewy. The flavors weren't that great either. The rice noodle rolls were the only saving grace, being decent. The English proficiency here is a little worse than KL. Most people can speak English, but many speak such broken English with a thick accent, I have a hard time understanding them. There are definitely more Chinese here and not as many Malay and Indians in comparison to KL. Consequently, there are less Muslims in the area. I didn't get woken up once by a mosque broadcasting its prayers over loudspeakers. Although Ipoh is less urban and more suburban, I still didn't get the feeling of a connected, cohesive community. In fact, Ipoh suffers from an issue I see a lot of in Malaysia. It's hard finding a clean, upscale area. You might come across a nice development or two, but usually a rundown building will be nearby. There were several well-kept houses I passed located right next to houses with paint chips and dirt on the walls. This is very different to American suburbs where you usually have blocks and blocks of similar houses bunched together. Many neighborhoods in Ipoh seemed a mishmash of people from different socio-economic backgrounds. KL definitely has more sights to see than Ipoh. Besides a couple of temples in Old Town, there's not much in Ipoh. And I think influencers make way too big of a deal of the street art. Listening to them, you'd think art just surrounds you in Old Town. The reality is, the paintings are pretty sparse and spread out. When you do find them, you will also find dirty and dilapidated buildings nearby. Oftentimes, these buildings are the ones the art is painted on. You can easily see everything worthwhile within a couple of days. That being said, the best attraction lies 40 minutes south of Ipoh. The Guatempuran cave tour is truly a wonderful experience, and the only must-do activity in the area. Although I like the fact Ipoh is less crowded and congested than KL, it still suffers from too much garbage in the streets. There's also a fair share of graffiti. The weather in Ipoh is better than KL, but not by much. If KL is too hot 10 out of 10 days, then Ipoh is too hot 7 out of 10 days. The biggest problem I have with Ipoh, however, is the same reason many of the people live here. Everyone I talk to liked the fact that Ipoh is a relatively quiet and laid-back city in comparison to places like KL and Georgetown. While I was there, Ipoh Parade Mall held a cosplay competition where a number of people competed and watched. I don't know if Ipoh is huge on cosplay or if there's just nothing else to do here, but I get the feeling it's a combination of both. I have no problems living in a smaller city. My hometown of Milpitas is not big. However, Milpitas is located near several bigger cities like Santa Clara, Fremont, and San Jose. Ipoh sits like an island in the middle of Malaysia, and although Old Town has some personality, the rest of the city feels bland with the same mini malls and stores scattered everywhere. When I told Malaysians I was staying in Ipoh for 2 weeks, the general reaction was the same. That's too long, and Ipoh was more for retirees. So the search continues.